Hello, it's me, Pez and today is a day I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed with something that I have done before, but I just hadn't finished. So, what is that, you might ask? Well, that, sir, is I finally finished etching the handles on my Static Kraken. For those of you who don't know, Static is a guy on Instagram, Static Knives, who reblades and also makes their own knives. But they do have this reblade for the Kraken that they occasionally post, and I had gotten that a long time ago. And a journey with that guy was that I wanted this knife to be a beater knife because I could stonewash the blade, as you see here. And then because it has black handles, the theory was that as it was, indented by dropping on concrete or other hard surfaces, black kind of accents those things more so than, say, like a silver aluminum handle. So the idea was to highlight the weathering or the cosmetic changes that occur with the knife as you continue to use it. Now, I still stand by that, and I like the character that it has now. I don't know, let me look at the framing here to make sure I'm good, but like you can see here, like there's a good amount of, dinging up on here and on this side as well. I'm not sure how well it comes into the camera, but the handles here, this thing is like right next to my face. The handles here, they've gotten some weathering themselves, but you'll notice that on the sides here, it looks a little different. And that is that I've used what is essentially a pen. It's a pen with a very sharp metal tip on it that is an etcher, like a physical etcher, not like a chemical etchant, but actually like going in there with like this pen tool and scratching a line one by one. And every single line, let's see if I'm still lined up here, every single line you see here is me using that little scratching process to get those lines in there. Now, cosmetically, I think that this is really interesting. There is one downside, and that is that there's going to be less grip, right? This is the Bali Plus Speed Channel glossy handles for the V3 Kraken. So the glossiness, if you were a longer member in the community, you'd know that beforehand, Bali Plus just had more of like a raw aluminum feel, or rather they didn't have that glossy finish, which resulted in the handles being a little bit more slippery, kind of like showing that weakness of being an aluminum handle. But the new glossy finishes do offer quite a bit of grip. Now, when you scratch it all off, then you're kind of back to this more bare titanium. Still, obviously, there is that backing of black, so you do get grip there, but you are sacrificing a little bit of it. I mean, ultimately, I feel like it doesn't ruin the knife by any means, and I think it just makes it look more unique. And that kind of gets me to my point about, why did I do this? And I think first and foremost, it's not complicated. I just wanted it to look cool. I think that looks cool, and that, no one else has really done that to their balisong. So being the guy who did it first, I guess, has some value, and just having something that is more unique and, most importantly, more personal to me is very important. I feel like I myself am somebody who has taken the time, depending on the knife, to work on the knives that I've had. For those of you who've watched longer on my channel, you know that I used to have that Asgard Zengetsu that I polished by hand, and then I did a toxic ano on, and then obviously I had the blade here that I stonewashed as well. Both of them use the ferric chloride acid, and that's nice because you can get the toxic ano, but you can also use it to stonewash. But I think through those experiences, and also just tuning some of my knives, some of them I haven't had the amount of gusto as maybe desired, but through that process of working on your own knife, there's a certain, connection that you get. At the end of the day, it's just a piece of metal, right? It's not that big of a thing, but, like subjectively, there is this sort of quality of like, you have put effort into something, and therefore it has greater meaning, greater significance to you because you have done that work yourself. You know, you've gone through the trials and the tribulations, and sure, it might not be perfect, especially on your first time, but I think those imperfections are kind of your signature, right? That is the result of all the different things you chose to do, or you didn't do right, or, you know, whatever. Like, that's what makes it unique and, importantly, personal to yourself. I'm going to check the exposure to see if we're getting a little dark, but I think it should still be okay. But yeah, importantly, it's this idea of having something that is more personal to you, that you have a deeper connection with. I mean, I think that is the foundation of why titanium itself has a lot of allure. If you're not somebody who's going to get your titanium anodized, really the functions that you're looking for outside of that are for grip, grip and durability are really the only other things that titanium offers. Obviously, it's more dense, right? So that has a different sort of weight distribution, but ultimately that can still be accomplished in other ways with other knives. Whereas like titanium, I think one of the standout reasons that it is a material, not only because it's the historic material other than steel for balisongs, but I think specifically in the customization aspect of it. I think especially in this hobby, all these designs, you know, it's not necessarily about function a lot of the times. You know, it's not there to work as like a utility knife. They make balisongs that are like that serve a more utilitarian purpose, and that's great. But I would say that the larger market is about collecting, right? And we as shoppers are drawn to what we see first, and then, you know, you do your research afterwards. But, you know, it's ultimately what catches your eyes, and titanium is what's going to offer that for you. And what I'm trying to do here with the aluminum knife is try to bring some of that creativity and some of that personalization into something that's aluminum. And I also like like I said, the organic element of, you know, the knife slowly gaining more battle scars or something like that. I think that character looks really cool. Someone I think I have high respect for the fact that they do this is Hey Austin, because they have like really nice, you know, grail balisongs that they will actually flip over concrete. And functionally speaking, like, you are buying a product to withstand more durable conditions. Ultimately, when you're buying a high quality titanium and stuff like that, part of what you're paying for is that durability. And oftentimes, and I do this as well, you get a nice knife and then it doesn't get used in that rough way, which I don't think is a fault per se, but to some extent you're leaving that on the table from buying it. You have the titanium knife. You could use it for one of its main key strengths, which is the increased durability. But I digress. Ultimately, this was nothing too substantial of a video. I just wanted to inform you guys as to me completing something and encouraging you to try the same thing, because I do think that it makes this thing more unique and more just a better thing for me. But yeah, I haven't flipped for 2 days because we had company over, and, you know, I was just trying to spend time with them. So a little like dusting off the rust. But yeah, it's been Pez Flips. As always, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, even a night. Yeah, I'm feeling crazy. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.